Christian, great to see you, man. Welcome to Popternative.
Likewise, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Really excited to chat with you. There's a lot always happening in the TV, film, video game world. And we're talking about Mafia, the old country. It's so interesting, right? Because a lot of people that don't know the behind the scenes of how these video games are made, they just assume that, your voice was lent, you went in a recording studio, but there's motion, there's like the mocap is just its own world and everything. You really like transformed into this character we could play as in the video game.
Absolutely, it's become such an incredible medium, and so I'm one of the ensemble cast. You play as Enzo Favara, who is a young guy out of Sicily who's saved and rescued from our family, the Teresi family, out of the sulfur mines. And Enzo, the role is played by Riccardo Frascari, incredible actor, and our ensemble cast is just phenomenal. So, like you said, it's become a medium that's evolved over time. I have to see the transition of the way a lot of the film actors pivoted to TV maybe a decade ago. You notice a lot of those film actors that hadn't really stepped into TV, they took their leap into TV. Now we're seeing that film and TV into video games. There's so many actors that are putting their hands up now to go into these games because the cinema element has just become so profoundly entertaining and immersive. And that's one of the things that the Mafia team really are passionate about. They're passionate about the story, the world, and bringing in like a really authentic cinematic and gaming experience. I think that's how this sums up Hangar 13 and 2K with Mafia as a franchise. Yeah.
And it's interesting that you bring that up, like, because it's a perfect segue to my next question. It's almost like you knew what I was going to ask you, man. You're a pro. It's amazing. No, but it's like you said, right? Like that whole kind of like cinematic component in TV and film, and then actors wanting to work in video games. Does your mindset change or preparation wise that much to working on something like Mafia compared to like something like Spartacus? Because it is still storytelling at the end of the day. It is still a character. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, and it's obviously being a period piece. It's close to my heart in terms of what I love to do with my work. But one thing I noticed a few months ago, because I started on stage back in Australia, and you're always performing to an audience that's directly in front of you. When you're on a set, you're performing. There are the cameras that you have to be cognizant about, but on a mocap stage, there's like 152 mocap cameras around, and there is complete freedom to just perform. So you don't even have to worry about camera angles. They can take it after the fact and figure out how they're going to edit it. So you're just there to play. And so the freedom comes from obviously you've got everything that's got yellow markers and all this kind of stuff, but it's absolute freedom to just it's almost like an acting class. You're just there with the guys and you're just performing, and a lot of really wonderful, authentic work comes out of that.
So I'm really excited to ask you this because we talked about the mocap component of it, and we've seen BTS like of mocap, right? You're in like these like certain suits, right? And there's like weird. It looks like you guys are
Yeah,
ready to
yeah.
go to outer space in a lot of ways.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? So I guess my question is, because I always found this interesting, is the characters have like amazing costumes and everything, like period piece in the game, right? Like it's so like well detailed. But like it's interesting, right? Because like Spartacus, like you saw the costumes and everything. You don't see anything with Mafia.
No.
Is that like interesting to think about a little bit?
Absolutely, absolutely. And all of the props they're mock-up props. So the props departments are fantastic, and they've got these little wooden props that replicate the real things. And but there's something about putting on the same suit every day that
Yep.
automatically kind of triggers you into that because then your imagination just runs free.
Yep.
And what's really cool with mocap stages, they have a lot of the screens on the stage on set, and so they'll kind of place some of the sets and the scenery to get a perspective of what's going on in
Yep.
its raw format in the engine. So you can kind of look, oh, okay, this is kind of a block setup, so you can see it in game in real time, just the really rough version,
Yep.
and that gives you a lot of the. That's really helpful as well to be able to figure out like what the landscape is if we're in a villa or where we are, and just to get an idea of the environment to then play for sure. But it's so much fun. The suit is amazing, and they put these helmets on as well that have they have their mocap cameras, the face cameras, and they sit just a few inches from your face all the time, and they have bright LED lights that are just shining into your eyes at all times.
Absolutely. General question, just like in regards to you as kind of an actor and a storyteller. You just used the word landscape, and I really like that kind of for this next question. I mean, you are an Australian actor. You're from Australia. You're a storyteller. Can you speak a little bit about the kind of rise and evolution and growth of Australia cinema and TV, but also kind of like the ability that we're seeing kind of people from Australia work on some of the greatest shows like on the planet from all around the world. Like, can you speak about that a little bit? Because I think it's amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and honestly, I'd love to be able to go back home to work a little bit because what I'm seeing over there in the industry, it's just evolving so much,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of foreign investments coming over there to really beef up that industry. And some of the writing and the creativity that are coming out of Australia is amazing. I think a lot of Australians, because we're a big country, but we're so remote from the rest of the world, we're
Yep.
forced to travel. And so we're forced to kind of really explore a lot of different cultures. And I think it helps us get a sense of perspective on different cultures and ways of life in that sense. And so that helps, especially as an artist, to be able to pull from different inspirations from around the world when you're traveling, right? And I
Yeah.
think that really helps for sure.
Dude, my main thing I have to tell you is like I'm a big metal fan. I love heavy metal. And
Oh yeah,
tons of bands from like have come from Australia, man. Like tons of heavy metal music. Like one of my favorite bands of all time, one of my favorite bands to see live is a band called Parkway Drive.
okay, I'll
So
check them out.
so they're from Australia. Dude, there's like In Heart's Wake. Dude, there's so many of them. Like there's Alpha Wolf, there's the Amity Affliction. Like there's so many bands from Australia, like of like metal music for sure.
It's fantastic. My dad was in a big heavy like rock band in the '70s, and they just kind of rekindled actually, and they're doing their thing and they're in their '60s. So that's fantastic to go and watch that actually. So I love a lot of the rock
Oh,
scene
dude,
in
it's
Australia. It's funny
amazing.
you say
A
that.
lot of them come from Melbourne, and a lot of them come
Yes.
from Adelaide. Like I'm sure there's some from Sydney as well, but like there just seems to be like a lot of like bands like from Melbourne and Adelaide.
Yeah, I think Jet, the main like kind of pop rock band,
Yeah.
they were from Melbourne as well, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. What would you say is your favorite thing about being a storyteller? Like, I think like there's a lot to kind of love about it in regards to kind of like your resume is a perfect example of like, wearing many hats, wearing many shoes, wearing different characters, different worlds. Is that like your favorite thing about being a storyteller?
Literally.
Yeah.
Personally, everyone's got their own thing. For me, I'd always had this curiosity of just I wanted to my career. I didn't intend for my career to end to turn out on purpose like this,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to be an actor to explore as many different roles as I could,
Hmm.
to go through as many different period pieces, to span genres, to really like I'm myself every day. I'd love to play a role where I'm
Hmm.
myself, but I'm myself 24/7. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? To play something completely different is where I really get a kick out of it. And so,
Yeah.
the Roman times, and especially going into a period of, I would like it in the Mafia, the old country. It's funny, I actually just opened the package like 20 minutes ago. I got the copy. So still sealed up.
Awesome.
Um, Going into a world that's, parallel to, say, The Godfather 1, where Michael goes over to Sicily. It's that kind of setting and backdrop of the old country that kind of literally what started my career as an actor. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so for me, I really feel like I've ticked off a bucket list. And I didn't think it would happen with a video game, but I tell you, the cinematics out of this game and the storytelling is, I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything else for my career in terms of being able to fulfill and work on scripts like this.
Did you feel like you had to go revisit like the original games and all the other source material like before doing this? Did you want to go in fresh? Like, I'm just wondering what that was like specifically.
A little bit, more so to understand. I've got a lot of friends. One of my good friends, Liam McIntyre, who played Spartacus himself. He loves games as well. And Todd Lassance, he's a big gamer as well. And so we grew up gaming. I haven't gamed in a few years, but I definitely did pre Mafia because you want to get a sense of how the vocal performances work, and especially with Mocap. And the games that I had played, they were always a little heightened. But then going into Mafia, I was like, oh no, this is grounded. This is basically just film. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're delivering film quality performances. Like I say, you play a game, you watch a movie. Now you play a movie, watch a game. It's synergistic. There's parallels where it's so immersive that the intertwining of both is just becomes such an immersive medium for players.
And I find it interesting as well because I can't wait for people to check out the game. We'll do the plugs at the end of the interview. But last kind of quick question is you bring up Spartacus, you bring up kind of the period pieces, these roles that you crave, these roles you want to do. Everyone kind of starts somewhere, right? And every like project, you know, there has to be kind of a stepping stone and it leads to things and you bring things from one project to another project and everything. And I was just wondering from you, being on a show when you were younger, like As the Bell Rings in Australia, right? I was just wondering when you were on that, you know what I mean? Like you're a young actor. That's probably like, I'm assuming that was like one of your first kind of roles, you know what I mean? Like where you were on like a big show and everything, right? So I'm wondering, like, did it feel like work? Like you were working, or did it feel like a stepping stone that like one day would lead to that? Because that's interesting to think about if you think about it, right? Like, yeah.
And I guess you could always see it as a stepping stone, but for me, it was always just kind of, it was work. But if you can find that job that doesn't feel like work, for me, that's everyone's got their flow state. I got friends that are soccer players. That's their flow state. And I grew up playing soccer, and I had that growing up.
You know
too.
where I'm coming from, though, right? Like, about yeah.
But when I'm on set, dude, it's just play. I could do it for 18 hours. You just give me a burger and a coffee and a nap, and I'll be back at it an hour later. Like it honestly doesn't feel like work. It's just you're just playing. You know, it's just so much fun to me.
Absolutely. Are you excited for all your friends and family to like play the game and play your character and like screw it up?
I really am, because this character Cesare he's such a character. It really is such a fun character with so many different levels. And the arc that the story goes on, and that all of the characters go on, is just so I love characters that go on real arcs, you know, that start one place and really finish in a different place. And that's where you can really tell a story with those. And for the game, it's just fantastic. I mean, I got family, my mom's family's from Sicily, my dad's from the middle of the country. And so they haven't always been able to relate to some of the work in terms of understanding, but this for sure, like I can show them Sicilian, Italian storytelling, and they can, you know, they can have some sense of relatability. So for that, I'm really happy to share that with them.
Absolutely. And I'm really excited for people to play this game, Mafia, the Old Country. We got to do the plugs, right? Like you have a copy, people are going to be able to get it soon. Like where can you tell us about like when we could check, where we could like get this game? PS5. Let's go.
I mean, PS5, Mafia, the Old Country to be out August 8th tomorrow. Xbox, PC, consoles, pre-orders are going through the roof already. So it's been really fantastic. I think a bunch of the reviewers are getting their hands on the copies now. So tomorrow, I think a few of the cast and I will be getting together tomorrow evening. We're going to have a little session. We're going to play the game for a few hours and have some fun. But I'm really happy for everyone to check it out. The Mafia fan base is a real special fan base that love the genre, and they love the Mafia franchise. And so we're really happy to deliver this to them as a really immersive cinematic experience. We're going back to the early 1900s, and it's on all consoles. And we really hope everyone enjoys it.
I'm so happy for you, man, and the cast and everything. Congratulations. And I can't wait for people to check it out. Christian, so great chatting with you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for chatting.
Your Instagram account is just your name, right? If people want to keep up to date with everything.
Yeah. Christian, I think it's Christian Antidormi. I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Christian Antidormi and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.